My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. We're going to break down the monkey knife fight lines and picks for UFC 267. If you don't know what it is, go to wewantpicks.com/MKF. Essentially, monkey knife fight, we're going to jump into these fights. They're strike lines. They're saying fighter A is going to land X number of strikes. Fighter B will land X number of strikes, and you just have to pick the more or the less. And if you're right, you can triple your money, 10 times your money, even 25 times your money. It's super easy. It's super fun. And they will give you free money to do it. wewantpicks.com/MKF. They will instantly match your deposit. Take the free deposit match money. Play with that. And let's all get rich together. Jakey boy.
Hey, man. What's going on? How are you?
Oh, I'm all right. There's only 14 fights now because one of them dropped. We're not going to touch on all of them, but let's hit the main, co-main, and then we'll dance around a little bit and see what we got.
I'm a good dancer.
We know. If you watched our full card breakdown, we had opening lines. These strike lines, just like anything else in the betting community, move with the money. So we are filming this on Friday. The fights are basically in 24 hours, less than 24 hours. So these lines are pretty stable for now, but they have moved. So let's take an updated look. They have Jan Blachowicz at 101 strikes, Glover Teixeira at 58. This number went up. So money came in, money did the more, and this number went up. What do you think of this strike line? You're going to do more, less, or split it?
You're probably not going to like this. I think, obviously we're all Glover fans. We know Glover. I don't know Glover, but you guys know Glover personally. We all want Glover to win. I think everyone wants Glover to win. I think Glover gets hit too much. I would go less here because I think it, honestly, if I'm thinking with my brain, I think it ends early. If I'm thinking with my heart, I would play more because I think it's Glover on top and it's just an ugly fight. But I think the safe play might be less, honestly.
It is a tough line because Glover, you mentioned before, it has been chinny at times, but he's so tough, has so much heart, will, and determination that he just claws his way out of that situation. It happened with Thiago Santos. It happened with Anthony Smith, where he looked like he was going to get put out. He composed himself, went out there, did what he was supposed to do. I don't know if he'll be able to ragdoll Jan the same way that he ragdolled Thiago and Anthony Smith. Obviously, I'm hoping he does. I'm friends with the guy. But this is a really hard line because if he does do that, it should be a more, but it could be less no matter what. Because he could take Jan down and submit him, or he could take Jan down, not get hit, and pound on him from there. So this is a really tough line. I'm not going to play it because this is now tough, and this is why we always tell you to play lines before they move. But if you're in the Jacob camp and you think Jan goes out there, takes Glover's head off, and he's got all that power and determination, then you should love that this line went up. Play the less, and that should be a lock for you. Super easy if you're in the Jan camp. If you're in the Glover camp, more is probably safer, but even then it could be less on Jan, more on Glover, because Glover could take him down, beat him up from there, and then submit him. So we'll leave that where it is. Let's take a look at the co-main event, another 5-round fight. We got Peter Yan, Corey Sandhagen, 133 strikes for Peter Yan, 96 for Corey Sandhagen. The odds makers say that this should go the distance. It's going to be mostly a striking fight. Honestly, this is a pretty good line. What do you think here?
Yeah, I was pulling up the Jan Sterling. Jan was 103 total strikes. Obviously, he was trending to eclipse that before the
that was
DQ.
the 4th round, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So honestly, I'd probably play the more here. I think this is a big striking battle. I could see Jan being frustrated with Corey's. We talked about in our betting video, being frustrated with the length and trying to grapple, but. I think this is a wild fight. I think this is a lot of entertainment, a lot of strikes. I play the more.
Yeah, I'm going to throw $10 at the more. I agree with you. 2.5 times my money, so $10 to win $25. I think it goes 5 rounds. I think it's back and forth. I think it looks pretty similar to TJ Dillashaw, Corey Sandhagen. A ton of strikes, an all-out war. And I think it's a pretty close fight. So I'm good with the more.
Random stat. I didn't realize this. In that Sterling fight, Jan was 7 for 7 for takedowns. Do you know what Sterling was?
Yeah, 0-2.
1 for 17 on takedown
1 for 17. Yeah, I thought he was 0-2, but yeah.
But he outstruck Jan.
Let's take a look at the feature fight. We got Dan Hooker versus Islam Makhachev. This is another one. If you think this goes the distance and it's a pretty good back and forth fight, it should be more and more. If you think Islam is the minus 800 favorite that Vegas has him, then maybe it's less. But even Islam being a massive favorite, those betting odds are just, is he going to win the fight? Not how quickly will he win the fight. So I think this is another more. I think Daniel Hooker is tough enough to survive, tough enough to make it a little ugly. He's not going to win this fight, but I think he can get some shots off. Totally, like, he knows he's going to get taken down, so he's just going to throw and stay busy and try to stick and move. What do you think?
Yeah, here's my thought on this. I think it's less for Islam because I don't think he's not really a TKO guy. He's a grind and work for submissions and
So why would it be less?
Do what?
You said he's not a TK because you're saying he gets takedowns, he doesn't strike from there.
Right, yeah, and he's just working a control position. So I like the less on there. And the thing I worry about on Hookers is he has very good takedown defense, and this could be a lot of Islam up against the cage, pressing him against the cage, and Hooker with just those pitter-patter, get off me elbow while Islam's trying to work for takedowns. So, and those add up a lot faster than you think. So, honestly, I don't want to split it with the less more. In my mind, I'm staying away from this one just because I just don't like those little pitter-patter shots that add up quickly because Hooker has very good takedown defense, and Islam could just be working for positions the whole time while Hooker's just kind of trying to hit him in the head and work out of those positions. So I would stay away from this one.
And I'm looking up right now. I want to see how many Islam landed in his last few fights. 61 against Thiago Moises, 15 against Drew Dober, but that was an early submission. 43 against Ramos.
No, he had 102 versus Dober.
I see strikes. I mean, these aren't significant strikes either, so I don't know why it's.
He had 88 versus Ramos, 47.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That was significant strikes. He had 102 against Drew Dober. And there was a finish there, wasn't there?
There was, yeah.
I'm doing the more. So I'm going to lock in the more, $10 to win 25. Let's lock that in. All right. What is there a fight that you want to take a look at? Let's both look at the Amanda Hebos fight, and then we'll.
Yes, let's look at it.
And then
let me pull up her Instagram real quick.
Yeah, exactly. So we have Amanda Hebos at 84, Verna Jandaroba at 46. Both of these women are very good grapplers. Verna does not have great stand-up, but Amanda does have pretty good stand-up now. Amanda is willing to engage in the grappling and wrestle, even though she has a pretty dangerous opponent here. I think this is another more. I think it goes the distance. I think there's a lot of strikes. 46 for Verna worries me, but she could just come in, head down, just throw wild looking for takedowns. What do you think?
Listen, Amanda's the biggest lock I've ever seen in my life. I honestly think that she's going to take her in round 2 and throw her outside the octagon and get disqualified, which would be a less situation. I could see this actually adding up pretty quick. I think they both strike in the first round because they're both kind of wary of the other one's grappling. But I think Amanda honestly hits a groove that second round, hip tosses her, and either submits her or TKOs her pretty quickly. So I'm opposite on you on this one. I probably play the less. But I definitely see the why you would play the more.
Well, let's take a look at fantasy points. So we've been looking at strike lines, but there's also fantasy points. And if we take a look, they're saying Amanda will score 83 fantasy points, Verna 45. If we click the little I, it'll tell us what those points are made of. Significant strikes, 0.6. Knockdowns, 12. I don't see that happening in this fight. Takedowns are 6 points each. Takedowns defended are 3.
I don't see the only thing if they get tossed out of the octagon, I don't see that on there.
No,
that's got to be another 50 points, right?
Yeah,
there
50. You go. So looking at this, let's say Amanda wins a decision, that's 20. In there, I don't know, let's say she gets 50.
Well, I think she's going to win round 2 or 3, so I would play the more on the fantasy for sure.
All right, more on fantasy for her because takedowns are also 6.
Less. She's not going to do anything. She's not going to do nothing.
Takedowns defended.
Whoa, takedowns. You think she's going to take Amanda down? Come on now.
I highlighted takedowns defended.
Serious with yourself.
Takedowns defended. Let's do more or less on fantasy points. We'll lock that in. 10 to win 25.
Easy money.
And now let's look at the slates. So
you wouldn't do Knockout Kings?
Yeah, that's
I got some people.
That's in slates. So if you go to slates, what slates does is it's more than just the standard lines. Now you can start to parlay them. You can get 5 fighters, 6 fighters, 25 times your money, 3 fighters to 5 times your money. And they have Knockout Kings. All you need to do with Knockout Kings is pick 3 fighters that you think could win by knockout or TKO. If you get one of the 3, you get 25% net return. If you get 2, you can 2.5 times your money. 3, you can 4 times your money. 2 and 3 are stupid. I like to just get 25% net profit. Nice and simple, straightforward. Let's grab 3 fighters that you absolutely think can win by KO or TKO. Go ahead.
I got you 3 right here. First one's going to be Lerone Murphy. Listen, I like Americani for his wrestling, but you mentioned he's got gas tank issues late. You know, Murphy's got knockout power. I like him in this matchup to chase that KO, TKO. And the next one, honestly, because a lot of times on these, if you're just looking for the one, is you would double up a fight, right? On a fight.
You can. I did it last week and I hit.
Right. So I would do that, and I would do it with the Ankalov Volkan fight. So I like those guys to be able to bang. We saw Odesmir, or whatever his name is, Volkan, get knocked out in his last fight versus Jiri. So you know he can get knocked out, and he actually hurt Jiri, and Jiri never gets knocked out. And he had Jiri running around the octagon hurt. So we know he's got the power, and you know he can get knocked out. So I like that matchup to double up that fight. So I would take those 3 probably.
Yeah, I'm not going to double that one up. And fun fact, Jiri weighed in last night as the backup if something happened to Jan or Glover. I didn't even know
he's going to fight. I think he's going to fight Dan now. I think that was the
could be. Plan. They are out there. So I'm not going to do that. But let's take a look.
You like Murphy though?
I'm good with Murphy because that is the only reason I didn't bet 3.5 on Americani.
Right.
Not
I would have picked that fight that dropped, honestly. But
well, I'll throw Kazmat in there. I think he's a little overrated, but you know what? He could get a TKO, no problem. And then
if you're playing 3 like that, I would like those 2, and you probably don't want to play it, but I would play Jan with those 2.
I mean, you're probably right. Like I'm not, but I'm just out of principle. I'm not going to click that and then root against my buddy.
Right. But for everyone else watching, it's probably Jan, Laurent, and Jimmy is probably not a bad play.
Let's see.
And Jan being the main event, Jan. I think this is the second time they've been on the same card where it's Jan, Blachowicz, and then Piotr Jan, and we keep saying Jan.
Yeah, let's go with I'm going to go with Ankalaev. Where is he? Come on, buddy. Where are you at? There you are. These are my 3. I'm going to lock it in.
I like those.
I only need one of them to hit. I'll get 25% return. Let's just throw $20 at it for the sake of the video. Now let's take a look. We'll do 1 or 2 more slates, and then we're moving on. You guys get the gist. It's super easy. It's a ton of fun, and it's a very different way to bet and play and make some money on these fights. It's fantasy. It's not gambling. It's an app on your phone. It's super, super easy. Let's go back to the slates. I like to do rapid fires because you 3 times your money, and it takes different people from different fights. Do you think Peter Yan will land more strikes than Jan Blachowicz, but Jan is getting 32 as a handicap? That's a lot. 32 is a lot.
Yeah, I don't like this one at all.
Well,
do you want me to choose? Do you want me to choose either way?
I'll tell you what. If you don't like it, let's
give me the 5. I do the 5 times, man. I like the 5 times.
Well, the beauty of this is this is the all-day slates. We'll do the prelim slates in a minute, and we won't have any of these guys on it. So let's do the 3 for 3 to 5 times our money. These are my favorite. Volkov over 88, Islam over 87, Hibas over 84. What are you thinking?
Jesus.
This is a less.
Nah, I go more on that. I got more, less.
Well, I already did Islam more, so I'll stick with that. Hibas, man, these are tough.
Yeah, I don't like these, but I would play. I'd play more, less. Honestly, Volkov's not gonna.
There's 2 options. Now we have Peter at 133. I'll do the more. Jan at 101.
Less.
I will do less. Corey Sandhagen at 96. I will do more.
Here we go. Now we agree. Now we agree.
What?
So now we agree.
Yeah.
Look at that. 5 times your money, man.
10 to win 50. I had one like 8 months ago. So whatever. But I put the full 100. I was absolutely positive I was going to get $500. and then the fight was canceled. The line was terrible, and then the fight was canceled.
No offense to Chris.
No offense to Chris. The lines have gotten much better. And let's just.
The line was terrible.
This was 8 months ago. Let's just look at the prelim. And the prelim card, let's take a look at what this rapid fire looks like. So this is only prelim.
Oh.
Amanda more than Tagir. Tagir Ulanbekov. I think that's an interesting one. And Shamil more than Andre Petrosky. Ooh.
Yeah, I'd go Amanda.
Andre Petrosky, dominant wrestler. Gamzatov, like
they're both wrestlers. That's why it's tough.
Yeah, and Andre Petrosky's line is only 1.5. So let's do Shamil.
Okay.
10 to win 30.
Trust you.
Let's lock it in. Guys, you get the hint. You get the point. You're set up for success. wewantpicks.com/MKF. Promo code WWP. They will instantly match your deposit up to $100. Take the free 100. Spread it out. Do not put it all in one fight. Spread it out. You 2.5 times, you 3 times, you 5 times your money. Then you can withdraw the real money, and you're just playing with house money from that point forward. wewantpicks.com/MKF. We'll see you on Saturday.